All right, now we recording and everything. So
All right.
yeah, welcome everybody to another edition of Chris and Travis. I am Travis.
I'm Chris, I guess.
Yeah, and yeah, so we're back for another week. I'm just happy my partner in crime over here actually made it back from
Nah, we had a good
Costa
time.
Rica.
We made it back safe and sound.
So you want to get it like a little quick recap of some people, or you just want to keep it like, hey, what happened down there? It's just,
Oh no! We posted on Facebook. We went down to Costa Rica. A bunch of us.
Who's we for the people who didn't see your?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just kidding. Who went?
What were y'all down there for?
We were down there for bachelor celebration,
Yep.
and that's about it. There were a bunch of karate guys, some friends of some karate guys, and we just went down there to celebrate. One of our brothers getting ready to go get married and join the rest of us in that matrimony and whatnot. So there were a bunch of karate guys. We went down. We did ATVing, whitewater rafting and stuff. We did zip lining and rappelling down a waterfall. Went to the jungle. Had a blast.
What y'all doing in the jungle, man?
I mean, we hiked in the jungle. We tried not to get bit by these crazy centipedes that was like 3 inches long. There was the black and the green, the deadly tree frogs that were out there, and they was out.
The ones that like they skin is like
if they touch you, like not the ones that you lick the toad and you get all creepy, but if it touches you, you die. Yeah, that they were out
Jesus.
there. And they were like as far away as me and you were. Like you could look at them and be like, "Yo, that's one of them right there. Look at the black and the green. Look at the black and the green." Dude was like, "Where? Man, don't get too close." They had some weird spiders.
Do they
out
have
there.
like antidote for that kind of stuff, or they just?
Yeah, but when you're out there on the tours, you're kind of like, you signed a waiver. If we can get you back in time, cool. If we can't get you back in time, you're out of luck. Like if we went ATVing and like you fell off the side of the cliff, that was like going to charge somebody in your party for the ATV. Like that's how it was.
So if they die, and you die, they charging the rest of the people for you dying.
If it wasn't a mechanical issue, they told you if it wasn't a mechanical issue, like a flat tire or breaking down or any damage that you caused, you had to pay for it.
Fam.
So even I believe if you died, I think they would probably charge the rest of your group the difference for that ATV.
Yeah, good luck getting that money up out of me.
Yeah, listen.
But then again, I am in a foreign country. I don't know nobody, so
Yeah, it might happen.
They may have to. Exactly. I have to fork over that money.
But no, it was a great time. We had a good time. It was good.
Good. So did you keep up with everything that was going on back in the Americas and?
I was actually. We had a good Wi-Fi there, so we could peep in and keep on what's going on with the couple of tournaments and stuff that I saw. I got to look up and recap a little bit of the other events, but I kept.
What day did you go down there?
I left on Thursday. We got there. Everybody got there Thursday, either Thursday morning, afternoon, or night, and then depending on what your job schedule looked like.
Oh, so when I text you about that junior stuff. Yeah.
No, I was like
you
on
there
my
or
way to the airport.
Oh, you was on your way.
Yeah, I was either on. I might have even been on flight. Shout out to Delta. Anytime you go international, pay the extra money and go Delta, man. Don't be cheap. Now, if you only got X amount of dollars, do what you can. But if you got some money, man, spend the money on your flight. Like I sat in a
always do
comfortable seat.
that.
Listen, I sat in a comfortable seat, had my own TV, I had a headphone jack, I had a USB port to charge my phone. They give you free Wi-Fi, free texting, like. Man, listen. I got one free bag to check. I got one free carry-on bag.
Yeah, I just made sure I didn't. Every time because I was talking to some friends and they were like, I'm flying back to Detroit. Oh, what you flying Delta? I'm like, they're like, oh, you got money. I'm like, no, I don't. I just don't want to be sitting on Spirit on them hard chairs.
Oh my God! And then got to
For
pay $30. And then got to pay $30 to get a check-on bag.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
$3 for a water. They charge you for everything. So yeah. You about pay the same,
You get what you pay for. So I pay a little extra and I fly Delta. I buy my ticket a little further out in advance, at least a month in advance. I try to.
Always sign in on a private browser so they can't read your cookies and raise a higher price the next time you do it.
Say what now?
Okay, so travel info game right here. One, always pick out your flight on a Tuesday. Roughly
Yeah, I knew that.
Roughly 6 to 8 weeks before your flight. That's when you're going to find the pocket of cheap, unless you go on like Hopper or something, where the week before you can get on a flight and it hasn't been sold out, so they give you really cheap flights. But that's dangerous.
What the heck? Yeah, keep talking because I'm going to say.
Yeah, so after you do that, then when you look up your flights, you always look up your flights in a private browser. Because it hides your cookies. When it hides your cookies, then it won't see that you've refreshed and gone back and looked at the same flight, and you looked back and gotten on the same flight and all that. So every time you look at the same flight, they know that you want that flight, so they raise it up a few dollars every time you look at it.
That's crazy.
So if you look at it in a private browser, then it never picks that up, and it always keeps the same cheapest rate. So
don't buy yours on the app then, because
never buy it on the app. Think about it. Never buy your flight on an app because it's a third party. So if something goes wrong, you got to contact the app. You can't contact the airline. The airline didn't sell you the ticket. The airline sold Expedia or whoever the ticket. So now Delta has no contract with you. Delta has a contract with Expedia that the ticket was sold. Expedia has the contract with you, so you got to go through Expedia. And Expedia will tell you to go through whoever. They'll tell you to go back and forth, and it'll be such a headache that you end up giving up and losing all kinds of money and rights.
Yeah. So I actually went through that last fall because I went through a travel agency. I was supposed to go to
I don't do them neither.
I was supposed to go through to Europe for England, Spain, and I think that was it. I was supposed to go to London. I was going to London, Paris, and then Barcelona. Barcelona. And
I thought about that.
I was gonna do it, and I had paid it, and I didn't even get the insurance. And my grandmother passed away, so I was like, "Yo, all right, look, what can y'all do for me?" Blah blah blah. So then I ended up losing out. I think it was only $1,400 when I paid it. So I ended up losing like $1,000, and they kept pointing me like, "Oh, they do have a bereavement in Delta," because I flew Delta, and they were like, "They do have a bereavement, but you got to call." But you made it through them, so you got to call them. And then they said, "Oh, but it's with Delta, so you got to call them."
Oh yeah.
They gave me the runaround for forever, and I basically just ended up only getting like 400 out of the 14 back.
I've learned through my travels that the smartest way to do it is look through the apps to find where the cheapest is. Go to that airline's website and book from there.
Well, see, that was the problem. When I tried to book it, this is the crazy thing about it. I tried to book when I booked it through the agency, because the flight alone from Atlanta to, I think it was either London or Paris, was like $1,500 alone.
Yeah.
But and this is the crazy thing, if I flew from DC to Paris, it was $500. Now here's the crazy part about it. The DC trip had a layover, or it had a connection in Atlanta. I'm like, that is the most ridiculous. It's the same exact flight. You jumped me up $900 for. This is ridiculous.
You want that because it's that what? Direct flight.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy because flights out of Atlanta are usually cheap because it's the biggest airport in the country.
I always thought they've been more expensive for me. I've done fly out.
Man, I've done trips where when I lived in Florida, I flew to King of New York. Well, not King of New York. Let me apologize. What's the Javits Center? Lee Ireland's tournament.
Oh, Empire State.
No. Empire State was Santa Maria's.
No,
Twin Towers.
Oh, Twin Towers. Okay.
So I went to Twin Towers one year. They flew me from Florida to Atlanta to New York, right? JFK. They flew me from JFK to Chicago O'Hare back to Orlando. Because
you went all over the way.
Because the direct flight from JFK down to Orlando, same thing, was like $550. But to get it back and forth, it was like $220.
You know what I've been starting to realize is that they've been on some weird stuff now, that they are actually, it's cheaper to go direct. Like some of the flights, when I look at them,
some of them are.
They'd be like completely cheaper. And I'm like, yo, what? It doesn't make any sense as opposed to the layover. Now I'm like, this just doesn't even make any sense.
Well, I mean,
maybe because of the cities I'm going through, like Detroit and Atlanta are hubs for Delta.
Yeah, well, they are. They're major hubs.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. But I'm like, all right, whatever, man. But
yeah, it's crazy.
Especially Southwest. And Southwest has gotten, they're not cheap anymore. No, they used to be really
because
cheap.
they still give out all the extra freebies.
Yeah.
So their base price has gone up a little bit because they still give out the freebies, and they're still cheaper all around than having to pay $35 and then $50 for bag number 1 and bag number 2. Because if you take any flight that Southwest is a little bit more than, you still get 2 free bags.
Yeah.
Everybody else is $35, $25 for your first bag. So you got if you add a second bag, that's an extra $50,
which makes
so
no
that's an
sense.
extra $75.
Yeah.
When my thing is, the same 740s and 757s that fly us also carry the space shuttle on its back, and they worried about luggage fees and gas.
Well,
and
that all started.
Oh, we know why.
Yeah, that was just insane, man. But but no, whatever, man. Like, cause I actually only unless you get into what's the name? When Southwest does that. $59 fare.
Oh man, those are the best.
They just
those
came
deals.
out with one, so y'all better hop on for the
Vegas,
fall.
the $49 one way.
I need to get mine for WKC. For theirs up in Niagara Falls, but you got to fly into Buffalo. But
I was gonna say you fly and drive. So,
fast. I got to do that. I got $59. Yeah, let me try and see if I can get the Southwest flight going up there in November. Oh man, I'm like, yo, I know I'm gonna go up there, and I wanted to wear some red, white, and blue, America.
Yeah,
America. And I'm waiting to after the 4th of July to buy the stuff because
discount.
Yeah, pretty much. I was sitting there like, yo, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting until this pops off because one of the things I saw these Air Max 95s that I want.
I already know.
And I'm like, yo, these kind of cold. But then yesterday I saw some 90. No, the Air Max Plus, and they were cold too. They had some red, white, and blue ones that were cold too, and they all 160. And I'm just like, I'm gonna wait and see if this price drops after the 4th of July. But then I thought about it. Niagara Falls / Buffalo, New York in November with some white shoes.
No,
I may have to just like, nah, I just can't.
You better get them some hard leather red Timbs or something to call it a day.
Yeah, I was like, I may not even get those.
Upstate New York.
Yeah,
November.
Yes.
Nah,
yeah,
I'm with you though.
Yeah,
I made that mistake. I brought a pair of white kicks down to Costa Rica.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not white now.
Nah, they in the trash. They didn't come back from Costa Rica. I got a pair of all black joints, and I got some all black Nikes that went and came back, and they're a little brown, but nothing a washing machine.
You can wash. You wash yours in a washing machine?
No, but I hand wash all mine.
I was about to say, like, you wash them in a washing machine? I can't even do that.
Listen, I have a hard time washing like throwaway shoes. In the washing machine. I used to do it, and I used to have the little things that you put in the washer. You put them in the bottom so it doesn't break your form of your shoe, and then, the thing you put them in the dryer to tumble dry on low. I used to do that, but no. Everything now is with a brush and some solvent.
Okay. Yeah.
Professional shoe cleaner style. But yeah, no, I definitely caught up with this weekend. You guys had some pretty cool tournaments going on. There was a ton of them.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch. Let's get into the round of applause for all these. Hold on, you know what? I told you, man. So I ended up getting. Look, I've been trying to make this podcast a little bit better each week. I picked up some new mics as y'all. Yeah, because last week
you can definitely hear it's clean.
Yeah, it's clear. It's a lot clearer. So I started messing around with stuff. So I actually can make phone calls and stuff like that, and y'all can hear them. Eventually, I'm gonna end up doing that, having guests, and we call and talk to them. But also,
guests.
Yeah, exactly, guests. We're gonna just randomly call people and just start like, "Yo, what up?" Saying some wild stuff to y'all. But let me see. No, because I know I had got. Yeah, go ahead and start naming off some of the people.
We got. We'll start off with the WKU German Open. Didn't know a lot about this event, so I just kind of went with what Alex had up on his post. So shout out to Dirk Hilgert, probably. Sounds German, looked German. Probably won the German Open for WKU.
Probably.
What else we got? The Whirlwind Classic, Larry Wells and Larry Wells Sr. Kevin Walker won Grands, Fighting Grands, and Bailey Murphy won Open Weight. Didn't really get too many details on forms or women's. So if you got any of that, that'd probably be.
Get some claps. Get some claps for that.
Clap it up.
Yeah, give a couple claps for that. Okay, all right.
You said we got Central Bay State up in New England. Is that New England or
New
York?
That was in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Oh Lord, please forgive me.
Yeah, Prowler. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Milligan Kofi. Kofi.
Yeah, Kofi.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You talked to Jay King though. That's right.
Yeah. That was funny when what's the name was? I was laughing my butt off at the Battle of Atlanta. I can't remember the dude's name. They had Jesse King. I was like.
Joe Perry. I was like, yo, my man just checks him out on Facebook and only on the Facebook. Yo, no, that's Jesse King.
Like Jesse King. Like
I was trying not to say
man,
that.
Come on, man. I was cracking up laughing.
When he said that at the tournament, I just looked and died. I was like, yo, who is Jesse King?
Like,
I know he's the king of New York, but yo.
Just gonna look at that man like that? All right, well, it is what it is. Well, Joe Perry,
and then Larry Tankston had a Battle of Chicago.
Yeah, Battle of Chicago. Jake won that. Jake McInnes. Yeah. Jake McInnes won that. So cool. Shout out to you, Jake, and everybody else. Dirk, Cav, Bailey. It seems like we keep talking about Bailey and Tyreek won.
They won Best Fighter.
No, but
Tyreek won something too. Yeah.
He won the overall at the one Prahala won. Prahala won the open weight.
He won the open weight in Central Bay.
Tyreek won.
Tyreek won the open weight. Yeah,
the overall. So to all of you guys, let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all a nice round of applause for your.
Clap it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be annoying with this thing. Okay, I'm just letting you know that.
Pretty soon, drop fire.
All right. So what else we have on the agenda?
We're gonna keep on going. Let's get into some fighting.
Man.
Jermell
Charlo. Yeah. First off, I think is it Jermell? This is Jermell.
Yeah.
Jermell is fighting the dude from Detroit. Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he's coming up soon. I do want to see that.
That's next month, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then so Jermell, he fought Corta.
Yeah,
Corta. Yeah.
And man, listen,
that
3-piece, boom, that little hook, that little right hook that came around that dropped him on the first one. I don't know why they let you. I was telling you this earlier. I don't know why they let him continue. Anytime you stand up and just shake your head no, and try to walk forward saying you're ready to fight, that's usually a telltale sign that you should probably sit down.
Pride comes before the fall, man.
The fall.
Yeah, exactly. He
2-piece straight,
like
with a jab cross, beautiful, clean,
it was
long.
Straight.
It was. I mean,
it was like technical how he threw that joint. It was just like pow, straight.
I'm taking a picture joint.
It was a kata punch.
It was so clean.
It was like pow. And dude, he fell back. His arms went back over his head. Like, ooh, that's nasty.
His bottom head was leaning on the rope like he had a pillow. Like it was time he tucked him in. It was that was a rough one.
Yeah.
The rest of that card though wasn't super impressive.
Nah, I mean I didn't even watch the rest of it. I like to be honest with you. I just kind of saw that and was like, it is what it is.
I watched a little bit of it. When you're out of town and you're just sitting there. I mean, there's only a few things that you can watch on the television. So that's what we had. We had some sports. I didn't really watch all of it, but I saw the highlight of the UFC. I'm not even gonna try to say your man's name. The heavyweight dude from the UFC, second fastest knockout in MMA history.
I missed that.
9 seconds.
It was just one punch. They met punch.
2. They got real close. Old boy kind of stepped in and he kind of clipped him with a left hand and he kind of wobbled and hit the ground like it was hard. So the guy took a step, walked around his legs, hit him one time, completely. I mean, out cold. And then he kind of like gave him one more for good. Like he hit him and then he kind of like tapped him for that last one.
Just let it know.
Yeah, just like, and I could have beat you more, but
Oh,
that was crazy. Korean Zombie
game over.
Just deathed him. So I'm happy to see Korean Zombie back. That was one of my favorites. He was on a roll to get the title until he had to go back because this is how Korea works. He had to go back to the Korean military. He was forced to go back. He was Korea's biggest, one of their biggest stars, MMA stars, and even he had to go back and go serve military duty. Like they let you know, hey. We'll let you do what you want, but you still are for the betterment of our country before yourself. Oh, out cold, second round.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw the highlights of that one.
Oh, yeah. Korean Zombie's the truth.
He did.
Put him in the coffin.
He did. He put him in the coffin.
That was 2 coffins.
100%. Yeah.
2 coffins.
2 coffins. That's 3 because Charlo put that dude in the
that was the one. He probably put him in 2. He went 12 feet deep.
Yeah.
And then the last but not least, kind of was a Coffin fight. It was kind of boring. Wasn't really great. The bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, I missed that.
Paulie
I mean, we talked about it.
We talked about it last week. And then Artem Levin, Paulie was a better boxer. Paulie outboxed him. Artem was more aggressive. He swung wilder. He swung harder. When he made the connections, it made a little bit more of a impact.
Cut him, right?
And cut him, yeah. If you look at the fight and you look at the scorecards, I actually, which is weird because I don't like Paulie Magliani. I don't like him.
I don't like him at all.
I don't like him at all.
I don't.
His interview for after the fight, I felt was right. He's like, I landed more jabs and more counter hooks, and I landed better punches in the last 3 rounds. But I only won round 1 and 2. So as soon as the cut happened, I lost every round after the cut. So they judged the blood more than they judged the scoring, the accuracy, and the numbers. I kind of agreed with that. Now, I thought Artem was by far the aggressor. He controlled the ring more because he went forward and Paulie backed up. So I guess that's technically, ring control.
I guess.
It
depends.
When you dictate where the fight goes. I'm pushing you, you're walking around, and then I catch you. So,
or the person is actually baiting them into.
Well, you have to have smart and efficient referees to understand that, which is going to be one of our other topics. Where's your view? Where's your point? What are you doing? Everything comes down to the same things in contact sports.
Yeah.
Anything that's judged, at least. Now, if we did 30 rounds or first to not come back out from their corner, then we wouldn't have to worry about any of that. I mean, just fight till you can't fight anymore, and whoever lasts the longest wins. Well, then you get, the people with better skill lose to the dude who doesn't know how to get knocked out. So it's a weird conundrum when you have judging of anything. But yeah, that's really
a
about
quick
it
recap.
That's a real fast recap. We could get into a lot of those things.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. Boring details.
Yeah, pretty much. But I will say this.
Yes.
Who's going to win the fight of the year? Justin Bieber and Tom Cruise. Man, when I saw that they said Tom Cruise, you said yes. He's like, yeah, I'm fighting. I was like, wait, what? This is really going to happen?
Yo, this Mission Impossible.
It's like,
ain't nobody finna win watching this.
I'm like, wait, what? And Dana White was like, yeah, I'll be stupid not to put this fight on.
Bro,
that's just money. Just
listen,
coming.
I'm telling you, we said it last time. Remember that claymation thing from MTV Celebrity
Deathmatch? Yeah.
Bro, it's gonna happen. We're gonna have celebrities start challenging each other over some nonsense.
And I still don't know why Justin did it.
I'm gonna pay to watch it though.
Yeah, I will definitely pay to watch it. I still don't understand why he did it though.
I got a smart stream box. So I'm gonna watch it.
You gonna watch it?
I mean, I paid once, a while ago for the box.
Hey, well, did your boy hook you up?
Who?
I ain't gonna say his name because you're gonna put him out. You talking about from down here? Who lives down here?
No.
Okay, somebody else from. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because somebody was saying like, hey, I can hook y'all up. I can put y'all on because they work in the industry. I'm not gonna say who you are, but you probably watching this and you probably know who you are.
Yes, you do.
I know who you are.
I know who you are too. Nah, I didn't get my box from you though.
Yeah,
I got my box from somebody else.
Okay.
He kind of wears this color though.
Oh.
He advertises them on the Facebook.
Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah.
The other one. I was just like, why not?
Okay, yeah.
I got it when I was out there.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We was texting about him the other day.
Yes, we were. And I'm going to leave that alone. Like,
oh my God.
Well, okay, let me ask you. So, what do you think about that? Just the fact that he did it. And it's like.
That he posted it?
Yeah. Do you think it was like.
No. I think he, I think one thing happened and something else happened, and he just wanted to show you this is why. And I think it was more or less, this is why you don't do stuff like this, because karma comes around and bites you in the butt. It just happened to be instant karma.
Oh, it was definitely instant karma.
It was instant because it was Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Last fight of his Friday night, like what, the first fight of his Saturday morning?
It was the first fight of his Saturday.
I like this. I think things like this add excitement into what we do. It gets back to adding a rivalry, whether it be through one person and another person, two people fighting for, or if it's a team versus a team, or it's a, kind of thing. And it's a healthy one. So far, it hasn't spilled out and gotten out of control like we talked about last time.
It was about to.
It will. The next time anything happens between those two teams, it will absolutely.
It definitely will.
Absolutely. No questions asked. And there's only going to be one winner on that side.
So we are on a podcast, so I guess I should say something about it. We're talking about the Team Proper, JPM, Justin Ortiz, Junior Salientes,
Brian Damon,
the
thing
that happened last week. Junior posted on his Instagram showing that, Justin doing the late shot with him. And then on Saturday, Justin getting hit and KO'd. Well, another thing. So there's so many things to unpack here. It's so many things to unpack here. Well, just the fact that, late shots, we kind of talked about what happens if you do a late shot.
Right.
But what happens when someone gets knocked out? Should the opponent automatically be disqualified?
Now, to me, there's, a few factors that come into that. First off, if the technique is illegal, automatic disqualification, no if, ands, or buts. You threw an illegal move. Now that person can't continue. Mm-hmm. Now you have to look into the other. Now, say we're in an open stance and you blitz, I slip off to the backside and catch you with a straight right. Half of that is your momentum going forward. Half of that is my momentum with my punch. Mm-hmm. Who is 100% at fault at that when the game is so fast? I think at the end of the day, if it's not a malicious, intentful, it's a clean technique that otherwise you would score, I think you would have to let that person continue. See, it's hard because because at the end of the day, you have to look at what it's going to do for the rest of the division. It's going to walk the next person through a bye because the guy who just got knocked out should not be allowed to fight.
That is correct.
And the guy who you just disqualified can't fight either. So now you just gave that person an easy road to the next fight, and you've put the other guys in a handicap because of that, and you put everybody else in the division and everybody else in the bracket in that same handicap because somebody else did something. So you penalize everybody for one mistake. And if it's not really a mistake, it was just one of those accidents. Two people went in, one person got clipped a little faster than we thought and went down. If the medic says, it was, they can't continue, and the three referees come in and say that it's not a malicious, it wasn't on purpose, they weren't trying to knock him out, it was just a whap, then, I think you got to let that go. I think it has to be a 3-judge decision.
But here's the thing. The moment we start allowing knockouts, we got those sanctioning bodies that are coming in at that point, and the health, and that's when the whole industry gets switched.
So we're going to look at Ontario.
Yes, and it's basically because of what that's that. But I think the more our sport gets noticed, the more money. That's pretty much what happened with MMA.
It comes out with money.
So when MMA started, it wasn't really sanctioned by the boxing community because it wasn't boxing
at all.
Right.
It was
just you're just letting them fight. So then it got to this point where it was so much money that was being made that people turned around and saying, "Hey, hold on. We need some of this money that's coming in."
Weight classes.
Yeah, all
gloves,
of that stuff.
Rules. You used to be able to punch in the crotch and headbutt in the UFC.
Exactly. All kind of. It was no whole bar.
You could, no biting and no fish hooking and no eye gouging. You could pull hair. You could headbutt. You could stomp on the ground. You could stomp on their foot. I just realized they got rid of foot stomps not too long ago in MMA.
Foot stomps.
Don't forget the foot stomps.
But at the same time, that's what I'm saying. So by allowing knockouts, at that point, we are allowed. We can't say that we are not amateur at that point. Yeah. We're not a full contact. We're not amateur. That means that people can get knocked out. Therefore, technically, I'm on the side that if there is a knockout, it's a disqualification. I love to hit hard. So, but at the same time,
I understand and agree with you in the long term of our sport. I do.
Yeah.
Looking at it the way it's set up now, with people not really looking towards the future as much as what we would like to be seeing, you kind of just gotta, as of right now, the way that the state that we're in right now, kind of got to let it slide. But if we want to be bigger, we want to be better, we want to move to those other sanctioning bodies that we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, a knockout is automatic done.
But that's what I think. That's what I think. But I think that's where I think that's why we got to set the ground rules now before we automatically just switch it. Because let's say it's a junior. If a junior gets knocked out, because our sport is really driven by the children. Unfortunately, I won't say unfortunately, but I always look at it like
in the time period that we're in. It is a children's-based event.
It's a children's-based event. So therefore, if we actually are we allowing? What happens if it's the same scenario when the kid gets knocked out? You know what I mean?
I agree.
We have to disqualify. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, we have to disqualify the kid, and I think it should be kind of the same way with the adults if we're doing this non-full contact type of thing. Like they just cross the board, you get knocked out. I mean, you knock somebody out, you gotta, it is. Now, blood, on the other hand, is different. To me, you shouldn't be disqualified for blood. just for the simple fact that, I mean, there's so many different ways. I remember, I swear this is a true story. It's happened to me before, but I'm going to tell my uncle's story because it was funnier. Because his was funnier. So we were in, I can't remember what tournament we were in. We were in some tournament, and he was fighting this guy, and he was kind of a cheeseburger. And I think my uncle made a back fist him or whatever. The guy got hit, turns around, takes his finger. People are looking at him, sticks it up his nose, makes his nose bleed, turns around, and it's like, my nose is bleeding. So they disqualified my uncle. So they disqualified him because it was no blood. Dude literally put his finger up there and made himself bleed so he can win the fight. So couple months go by, maybe a month or two. I can't remember when it was. I was a kid. I was probably like 11 years old, right? We go to Buffalo, New York, and the guy is in the division. So my uncle goes and stands next to him.
Because back in the day, they didn't shuffle. You just whoever you stood next to, that's who you was fighting.
You had to fight. So my uncle stood next to him, was standing there, and they bowed him in, and he looks at him and says, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna hit you in the face today." He started bodying him. Boom, boom. He literally was telling the judge, "I don't want that point." So they would not give him the point, so he could keep hitting.
Oh my God.
He kept hitting. I mean, he beat the living crap out this dude, right? Literally, I remember being in the stands. We was like in the gymnasium, and we looked over, and he was literally crawling up the stairs of the gym.
Hey, but I believe that because your uncle hits.
Yes, so man, we were cracking up. Laughing like, yo, that funny. Was insane. Like that,
I'm gonna have to give him a call this week. To talk about that one.
That one is definitely a.
Put him in the coffin.
He's dying.
Definitely, man. That was insane. Like I was cracking up laughing. But that's why, I've had an experience like that too, fighting in a local event, and I think I hit. I was like in western part of Michigan, ended up hitting the guy in the face. He literally turned around and made himself bleed, and I was so mad. Like, yo, y'all just saw this. It was like two things later. I had like scored a body shot, and then he turned around and then turned around. Oh, look, I'm bleeding. I was like, are you insane? I was so mad, man. I was so mad. Because I never got to fight that guy again either.
That's one of those ones. Do you play to the rules or do you man up?
Right. Like, and I've never been up.
I can't fight. I know the rules. So I mean, at the end of the day, I know what I can get away with. But I don't do stuff. I could never do.
That's
something
just sad. It's soft. And I remember I fought Brian Ruth in a team fight, and I was fighting him, and I think his elbow like cut my eye. Right, and I remember like, I was like, no, don't do none of that. I was like, I turned around, I was looking, I was like, I think it might have been Larry Tanks, and I took his headgear and he had the face mask, and I put it on and continued fighting and won the fight. And I was like, because I don't want the fact that you hit me
for me to win.
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here, not even that. You just hit me. I'm going to hit you back. It's that simple. You just hit me. Like, I'm supposed to just take that? Like, nah. I didn't grow up like that. Nah. I grew up in Detroit. You hit me, I'm hitting you back. That's just that simple, man. There's nothing else to talk about. Nope. You're not going to hit me, and I'm just going to tell somebody. We're not going to get into that. We'll get into a whole nother discussion, and, I'll probably make some of the karate moms mad, but whatever, man. I'm just saying, if you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. It's just that quick. Simple. It's that simple.
That's my karate school's motto.
I mean, what do you think about like blood?
Blood rules soft. I mean, because I know kids who can sneeze and start bleeding.
Yeah.
I have kids in my karate school that are just natural bleeders. I'll tattle on myself.
I'll say, if it's a nasty cut, then yes, it should be something like if it's like, we got to stop it.
My man cut his forehead open. You got to go to the hospital and get stitches. Yes. Now you get a little bump on your lip and it's
a little blood.
Yeah, you got a little bloody lip. You got a little bloody nose. Man, you will be all right. Now you got a cut above your eye or your nose is twisted over to the side and is leaking out blood. By all
you just
means,
gave me a visual of somebody who had their nose broke.
Listen, I'll never forget. I'll never forget the dude from Studio Unis we talked about last last week that got his cheekbone crushed in it. It looked like he had a cereal bowl and I make it, Yeah, no, that was not okay. But I mean, blood rule is just weird. I got a kid, a 13-year-old. He was 13. We were at his black belt test. I punched him in the stomach and his nose started to bleed. I mean, hit him real hard. But
his nose
bled. And I was like, where did that happen? He was like, well, one of the other guys hit me like 2 rounds ago in the face. I was like, but I hit you in the body and you started to bleed? Yeah. All right, go put a piece of tissue in it, come back out here and finish your black belt test. You'll be all right.
Wow.
But yeah, so
the fact
I
that
think
you
the
get
blood
hit in your
rule is
stomach
soft.
and nosebleed is kind of wild to me.
No,
I'm just saying, that's crazy how your body is
your body
connected
can
like
do
that.
It's hand bone's connected to your nose bone.
Clearly.
They go out. But no. Yeah, blood rule's soft.
Yo, what's the hardest you ever been hit?
By who or when? Like what?
The first thing that pops in your mind when you say
Brian
that.
Ruth hit me one time. I hit Brian with 2 defensive hook kicks, and after the second one, I got both of them in team fights at Kentucky. So we're in Kentucky. So I turn around and I look over and I give my coach a hand, like yeah. He comes over and grabs me by the back of my gi and punched me square in the back of my head.
Yes, that's always the worst.
That is the one time in my life where I was like, I'll never question hitting someone in the back of the head again. That is why that is illegal.
Yes.
He hit me right at probably where the tip of my brainstem and my spinal cord meet each other, and I was loopy for the next 15, 20 seconds, and I had to try to move around. Like that was probably the worst I've ever. Now I've been hit harder than that, but that was the worst time I've ever. Because I physically
was thinking
remember
the same
getting my
thing.
knees buckled and like, what's going on? You can do it to yourself. You reach by the back of your head and pop yourself right there at that base real hard. You'll kind of get a little lightheaded. I mean, don't do it. But like, it's
now you got kids out here doing.
No, it's one of the examples I give to kids, and I always do it to myself. And you pop yourself, pow, and you kind of like jar yourself. Like we always talk about you talk about knockouts. Your chin is like the power cord, the plug, and it plugs into your brain. So when you pull the chin, you pull the cord. That was
live long and prosper.
Live long.
I pressed the wrong thing at the wrong time. Was not paying attention. Like what?
Well, you can't get hit in the back of the head too hard and live long and prosper, buddy.
Yeah, not at all. Like, oh man.
But yeah, no, that was probably the hardest that I can remember. The worst time I can remember getting hit in any tournament. But Brian hit hard anyway, so
yeah, he does. But yeah, that was similar to that. I got hit in the back of the head I think I was in Detroit, and I was fighting somebody from Chicago. And it was I can't remember his name. He was huge, like from tank school, and he was big as heck. And for whatever reason, I can't remember how it happened, but he ended up hitting me in the back of my head, and I was just like, because I was winning the fight easy, but hit me in the back of the head, and I was just like, what? Because I think I like hit him with a jump back side kick or something like that, and like gutted him, like stopped him, like I literally stopped him, like, and then he just. I don't know, like, because once he caught his breath, hit me in the back of the head.
He caught that second
win.
win.
Yeah, he hit me in the back of my head, and I was like, yo, I can't. This is crazy. I had to end up finish the fight, but, I didn't say anything. Because when you get hit, I try not to display you got hit. Like, right. You know what I mean? And so, because actually I remember a fight with Ray in Chicago. We clashed. And when we clashed, we both yelled at each other and went back to our like, yeah, talking to this. And I remember Ray looked at me afterwards and he was like, I couldn't say nothing, but you got me on that shot. I was like, yeah, we both were trying to play off like we didn't get hit. Like, yo, we both blasted each other. I was like, yo, that was insane. But where were we at? What were we talking about? How did we even get down this path?
I don't remember. We talked about knockouts and then blood rule and then the hardest hardest you've been hit.
Yeah.
There you go. Holy moly, I can't believe I remembered that after my
remembered
weekend.
all of that.
That was really good.
Happy feet, wombo combo.
Wombo combo. It's the longest one I've ever had. This is the longest. Why is it still going?
Oh, World Star!
Like, yo, this is the craziest thing. I'm like, yo.
They got that joint from a World Star clip.
Yeah, like this soundboard is the best of Vine. So like the stuff that was from Vine.
Definitely.
Like, yo, all right, yeah.
Mama, I love you.
I love that one. I love that one.
All right. Well,
we got Greensby.
Yeah. Where we at with this? All right. Where we at?
Since we're here, since we're already talking about rules, we might as well go into either the sanctioning bodies that we were going to get into or the leagues.
Yeah, sanctioning body. We'll start there. I guess because it's kind of what we were talking about. How long do you think, Larry, because all the stuff that went down in Ontario and Canada, do you think it's coming to America? If so, when?
No, not yet, because a lot of those things are already being reversed right now in Canada because of the complaints, the drops in participation in their sports, and a lot of the other things. I mean, there've been leagues in Canada who've completely dropped off. They've dropped their tournaments. Big tournaments have said they're not going to do them. Or there's a couple of Canadians that I know who are talking about moving their tournaments from Toronto to Buffalo, from Ottawa down into Michigan, Upper Michigan and Minnesota. Like, I know there's a few Canadian promoters that, with that going on, that they weren't going to do it. It's cheaper and easier just to move it to the States and have people cross over and dirt fight rather than going through that.
That's insane.
So, like I said, they're already doing.
They redid
they're rolling it back, and they're taking back a lot of the sanctions that they realized. Oh, these are the ones that they don't like. These are the ones they were telling us from the beginning they don't like, and maybe we should change them. So I do think that
I think they just thought it was going to be big money coming in.
Yeah. And people are like, nah, we can do an in-school tournament and not do a sanctioned tournament and do it, better than that, But I don't think until we average 5 to 10,000 competitors, and then we get on top of that 5 to 10,000 spectators, and we get to that bigger money set level.
So we get to cheerleading level.
Cheerleading, man. Listen, cheerleading's on TV. We talked about this last time. What weird games and sports are on TV, and we can't get there.
Oh well, that's
and we know what that is because we talked about it with the other league. It's all about the infighting and people not wanting to give and work. I'm greedy and I want for me, and I'm not willing to give a little bit for everybody so we can all grow together.
Yeah.
So I mean, and with that happening, I don't see our activity here in the States getting big enough to warrant any kind of athletic commission. They barely sanction amateur MMA fights at this point now. I mean, they've gotten to where it's so nice that they've had to keep changing the rules. You have advanced amateurs wearing no shin pads and 4-ounce gloves, just like pros. They just don't get paid. So
advanced amateur.
There's regular amateurs and there's an advanced amateur. Regular, and I understand.
I'm about to say they probably should be in our sport a regular amateur and a advanced amateur.
Well, they did, and then the professionals. But then you got to pay people, and you got to, you don't even have to sanction it to be a professional as long as you don't knock each other out. You just pay them a little better. You do set fights for a set amount of money. You have the tournament. You drop that down to $500-600, and then you get set fights, and you do 2 or 3 of them for that $1,000 or another $500. I mean, you go to a tournament for a one shot, try to win $500 rather than have 17 fights to maybe win 200 because you're going to lose to Avery or Ray or Jack.
Well, I guess.
And that gets people to step up their game and be their own kind of star, their own kind of market, and it kind of builds and goes. I mean, I think, like we talked about, I think that's where it goes. But the sanctioning thing, I really don't think we're going to get there here in the States anytime soon. Unfortunately, but fortunately at the same time, you got to move to a professional standard as your organization before you can worry about people wanting to come in and add anything to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I can see that. Well, I mean, I haven't really. I mean, I was just thinking like, sooner or later, because once I saw what was happening in Ontario, I was like, well, shoot.
American government's weird. They only want to be able to bring in money without actually having to go out and do work. So for them to have to show up to tournaments, for them to have to do this and that and this and that, like it's more of a cost for them than it would be for what they would make. And I could see them making money at the Battle or the U.S. Open, but for the most part, all the other tournaments, unless they do it to every single tournament,
which it would have to.
Well,
then they have to delegate it towards the states because each state will have, just like in boxing, you have to have like
state athletic commission,
state athletic commission,
Florida,
and that's where I was thinking more so that the state athletic commissions were going to be the ones who are going to come in and try and take over and take money and go through that route.
Right now, the way you got to look at it is each state athletic commission has what they deem what their rules are, what makes it up for them to have to be sanctioning it, why they have to sanction it, and for the most part, it's level of money and contact. So, like you said, as long as we don't allow that full contact and those knockouts, we don't pay every single fighter to show up, and we offer them a prize if they win, as a bonus. I don't think we'll ever get there. I mean, they could do that in Waco. They could have already done that with Waco in Europe and killed money, but Europe's a little different than us.
Yeah, well, they got a lot of. They're different, like just on
because there's so many countries on the same size that we would have states. Like they how do you? I mean, we can't get our states to agree on a driving age. Some at 16, some at 17, some at 18, and
we got a lot of things that we're trying to get each state to agree on.
Well, we're not even getting to that all that, but we're just something
just
easy
women's rights.
License.
I don't know.
I mean, that's the funniest thing to me about
we're
it.
We're gonna have to discuss
really?
my real thoughts on that after we leave, because I'm gonna piss people off when I give you my real
I don't
thoughts
care.
on that.
Go ahead and say it. I don't care what people think. Like I'm the person like I look for that. Like we got to say this. Make people mad.
You know my lady Jane.
Yo, who?
The old white lady Jane.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
Nope.
She's like the white lady who's the best black activist I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh yeah. I know
That
you're talking about. Yeah.
If you agree with the way we treat our black citizens, please stand up.
Wait,
I don't think you heard me. So if you would want to switch places with our black citizens in America, please stand up. By sitting down, that means there's a problem, but you're not willing to solve it.
Exactly.
That lady. So she has a whole long deal, why and how, and then there was a book written on it, and we'll have to go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. This is the craziest. I know we're a martial arts podcast, but it was so crazy that I was like
life cast.
All right. Did you see what Bill O'Reilly wrote today?
I try not to, but yes, I saw it.
Yeah,
I couldn't not see it.
I can't understand how he thought that way. I mean, like literally, like, dude, that's exactly what happened. Like he says, all right, ladies, like slavery reparations is a far left favorite because it does a number of things. It reinforces the radical belief that the United States was founded by racist white men who installed a system whereby white guys would run everything and blacks, women, and others would be exploited. Like,
I'm sorry, Bill O'Reilly, but you need to read a history book.
Like what?
I'm saying, like, you know the biggest.
It's clear.
You know the biggest genocide in the world was second maybe Leopold in Africa, but the hundreds of millions of Native Americans we killed, forced, and relocated because they weren't white and they didn't do what you did, and then
because you wanted their
women
land?
Until recently.
I mean, you can't. I mean,
1918, they didn't get the right to vote.
Yeah,
they gave the slave men the right to vote before they gave women the right to vote. But you want to tell, like, never mind.
Insane.
I don't understand how people like Bill O'Reilly stay on TV.
He's not. He got fired.
This time, but he's going
to
to
have. What is he doing?
He's either on a podcast, he's on XM radio. I don't understand how.
He's on BillO'Reilly.com, so he's getting all the money.
So I mean,
other people going straight to
I
him.
understand. I mean, I understand why they're on the radio. It creates a buzz and it creates whatever. But like, man, people like that are the ones that are changing our history books. You know, I read a history book the other day from not this state, but from another state that said the transatlantic slave trade was where they brought over indentured servants who could work their way to freedom. Yeah. The Trail of Tears was where the Native Americans voluntarily gave up land so that the new settlers could have land. Yo, I just don't understand that. Like, I'm homeschooling my kid.
I mean, honestly, it's more so they don't want to be viewed as the bad person they're because if you're
then
people
admit what you did and show that we've changed.
Right. Well, here's the thing. You didn't do it.
Right.
Your ancestors did it, but for some reason you're trying to cover up what your ancestors did, which makes no sense. Like, you just acknowledge that they messed up.
Rip the Band-Aid.
Like
this is what happened. How can we heal? Like, I mean, what do I need to do? And I'm not even really addressing the reparations thing. Like, I mean, I think they should have got the 40 acres and a mule, bro. Like, that's what they should have got. Any living slaves or slave descendants, first generation slave descendants should have already got that. That should have been done and done. Like, should have been. Anything other than that is like, we screwed y'all over, but we're still gonna keep doing it.
Right.
Like, my bad. Let me make it up. Like, like you would tell your kids. You wouldn't tell your kid to be like, don't worry about it, just walk away and don't ever say nothing to that kid after you just punched him in the mouth. You tell your kid, hey, go tell him you're sorry, shake hands, and try to make up for it. You don't have to play with them no more, but, you apologize for the action you did and you try to make up for it. Tomorrow, you ain't got to hang out with that kid. Just don't punch him again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I just don't.
They just, anyway.
You're going to get me heated. You're going to get me heated today because I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm probably more for the cause than the most average.
We gotta have another topic. What's a fun topic? We got
judges.
All right,
judges.
Judges, your favorite thing to talk. Yeah, your favorite thing to talk about. The judges.
We got to continue. We got to do our sanctioning bodies. We actually really got to do all the sanctioning bodies.
You mean ranking the best leagues or sanctioning bodies? Whatever.
Same. I mean, they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, I think the sanctioning body more so.
When you look at it, the sanctioning body is who runs the league. It's the league who sanctions.
Well, I figured the sanctioning body was more the government.
Fair enough. Okay.
Because the man.
Then we got to go to the man. Fight the power. But you got to get. All right. So we got best leagues.
Yeah.
We'll do foreign and we'll throw them all in together.
Foreign and domestic.
Right.
So all right, go ahead. You ran off a list and you ran the names.
I got what I call the major 7, and I know there's regional circuits, Blitz and Promac and all these other guys, but
ASKL.
ASKL. I mean, I could probably go on Crane and all the regional circuits. We're gonna stick to national and international. Obviously, a lot of people in America don't know about it, but they should. It's the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. They sanction who goes to the Olympics. For us, they sanction the World Combat Games, which you have to win, first or second place at the major world championships to even be qualified to go to the World Combat Games. So it's a big deal. Not a lot of Americans, I don't think, have ever gone. I don't know of any American who's actually gone to the World Combat Games. I know Chelsea Nash went a few years ago. But for me, they're at the top of the list because without their approval, without their stamp and their sanction, we never have a chance to get to the Olympics. So that right now is the pinnacle of our sport because we're still amateur. So they're number 1 for me. Number 2, it would have to be WACO. WACO is the only organization that's sanctioned by the IOC, who's looked at and relevant in the looks for who and what organization will we bring into the Olympics. Right now, it's WACO. I would have to go with NASCA right after them, though, because when you're looking at talent, when you're looking at the level of competition, the size of it, I mean, it's NASCA. Then we go with the WKC. For me, comes third. Well, no,
Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So IOC is 1, WACO is 2, NASCA is 3. Moving into the 4 would have to go the WKC. I know they're probably one of the newest on my list, but in terms of size, in terms of organization, level of competition, it's not usually one-sided. It's not one country who wins. You got Mexicans who win. You got Canadians who win. You got Irish that win. You got Americans that win.
Who won team fight? Was it Guatemala last year?
Guatemala.
I think it was Guatemala. I want to say it was Guatemala.
Was it Guatemala and Mexico or Guatemala?
No, it was. I think it was Guatemala and Ireland were in.
Dean's
finals.
Yeah. Guatemala, they got some fighters.
They do. They really do.
After that would be WKU. They're still strong. They'll break off from WKA. They're still pretty strong. They're getting bigger and better as the years go. ISKA, I say that based on, like we talked about this, our American team that goes, when they go, they win a lot. And the team that usually goes, no disrespect to them, wouldn't win a NASCA division. Some of them wouldn't win a NASCA division, and they come home with a gold medal.
True.
And then number 7 for me, you still kind of got to add them in, but kind of NBL. NBL is by far as a national level and a world level, they're probably on the lowest scale because they do get Canada, they do get Mexico, they do get Venezuela, and they do get a bunch of they get more countries than NASCA does technically, but
yeah. Yeah, they do.
They don't have the organization, the standards, and the quality. So NBL's got to round out my opinion. And that's basically based on organization, numbers, competitors, and level of competition.
All right. So here's the thing. I'll just rather than running out those off. Should the IOC be number 1?
No.
And the reason why I say that
no, they
is
shouldn't.
because
Nobody goes to them. Nobody gets sanctioned by them. There are no tournaments by them.
In order to get in order to get to the Olympics, and my whole thing at this point is, should the Olympics be our goal?
No.
So
it would be the most prestigious title we could win.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's not the best thing for our sport.
Well,
look at Olympic taekwondo.
That's what I'm saying. I was about to go to the taekwondo.
Look at Olympic judo. It's made judo garbage.
But when you look at the taekwondo people who go from America, it's usually like out of the same camp.
Well,
it reminds me of like how Waco was for Americans when it was just like almost all Paul Mitchell was going.
Right. Well, you have to realize in Olympic taekwondo, you have to have a certified instructor who qualifies, and there's not a ton of them who are qualified to do that. So everybody's going to come out of those few instructors' camps.
But I mean, they only take like 3 people out of the when they do the taekwondo team for Americans. They only take like 3 people. Like I'm like, what is the point of this?
They don't even bring people because they know at that level the other people that tried out for the weight classes or whatever aren't even close to being at that level. So why bring them?
I don't know, man.
It's an amateur organization, so you bring as many as you can, and hopefully they'll do better than you think. But that's
only
why send the winners. You know what I mean?
It kind of irritates. That's why I never went out for it, because I thought about it, but at the same time, because our base is taekwondo, so I thought about doing it, but it was like, what for what? Like at this point, it was like it was almost like 3 people. And I think I was with me in the same weight class as the son of the coach.
Yeah.
And it was like,
you ain't going.
It was like, all right, man. It was just kind of weird. And it was kind of like, all right. So I just never actually did it. But that one always, I actually never thought about the IOC being even in this realm of sanctioned
like I said,
bodies.
because why when I put it out there, I said most people don't know about it. Most people, most martial artists, even the Waco fighters, like they don't know who sanctions it. The people who are in charge, it's a big deal. The Olympic Committee is saying we're going to be good enough, or we might be good enough to get into the Olympics. That means your organization is top notch. So that's when we look at it like that. I mean, if you're going to look at who sanctions the who, that for me. But do I think that that's the number one most important? No. It would have to be Waco because it's a legitimate world championships, and then probably NASCA because it's got everybody who actually won overalls in NASCA went to Waco, they would probably win a world championship.
That is where I was going to go with this, is that it's almost split. When you look at the world championships, Waco is huge in Europe. I mean, that is Europe's NASCA in a sense.
Correct.
And if the NASCA people go over there and actually fought in Waco, it would be very, very, very interesting.
Well, let's go. Let's run down the NASCA fighters who have gone over and fought in Wacos.
Okay.
Waco world champions: Joey Greenhall, Alex Lane. Raymond Daniels is a Waco pro team and individual, but not a Waco world champion. I don't think he's ever gone to the Waco world championships.
I thought he did. I thought the last time he did was like a couple of years ago, like 15, and that's when he beat Roman.
Oh yeah, he did when Jack went. Jack won one.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, it was really in our era. Ross went to one, same one that I went to. I didn't win. Ross didn't win. I don't think any American won that year.
Yeah.
And that was, so it's a couple of things.
In our era,
in our era, our eras.
Yeah, I see. Well, okay, so
flow between 90s, 2000s.
Yes, because like Ski went over there and won.
Ski won.
My uncle went over there and won.
They went 95.
Yeah, they won 95.
My instructor went over and won. Yeah.
So that group went over there, and then Preston came out in '99 and just destroyed everybody when he went over there and fought and won.
Oh yeah.
I want to say I don't know this for sure, but did Jotty win?
See, now the thing that I remember when the Paul Mitchell squad fought, it was a 5-on-5 team fight for the Waco Pro world title. Now they do something different between Waco World Championships and the Waco Pro. Waco Pro, like I think it's in teams. It's 5-man. Each fighter fights 2-minute rounds. two 2-minute rounds.
Okay.
And then you win either matches or points. They go back and forth every few years with that. Whoever wins the first amount. But whatever. And then the Waco Pro individual title, 5 2-minute rounds. Total points.
Yes.
Raymond went over there and fought Andy Brett, from England, and won like a ton to not a lot at all. So I mean, you can do that, but
no, because my uncle did it. He won 95, and then why am I blanking on the guy's name? From the UK, came over in 97 and tried to get it, and he didn't get it. And then 99.
It's about not Alfie.
Not Alfie.
The big dude, Megatron, whatever they called him.
What's his last name? Oh, dang, I cannot think of his name.
Neville was good, Neville Ray. I'm trying to remember. There was a couple of
Oh, this is going to bother me. But anyway, so I know in 99, I'm forgetting. Emmanuel challenged my uncle for it. I think it was 99. It was 99.
Emmanuel who?
St. Louis? Yes. He challenged my uncle for it. And I think it was 99. No, wait. It had to be. Huh? Yeah. It had to be 99 because that was the year SCS had started. Yeah. And because of that was the year. No, it must have been 2000. It was 2000. It was definitely 2000 because I was in Canada. So he's either 99 or 2000. I can't remember, man. Getting old. But it was whatever. It was 99.
That's 20 years, man.
Yeah. It definitely was 99 because I didn't win at the Super Grands that year.
Okay.
And at that point, I'm not going to get into the story. Yeah, I'm going to leave. You know what? I'm going to leave that song. I just know it was 99. We had it was crazy because they actually had a victory party for Emmanuel. After they wanted that, it was supposed to have a victory party for Emmanuel there, and he ended up losing to my uncle bad. And so we went to the victory party. It was nobody. Nobody was in that joint. And we were just in that joint like, nice. Why we here? We have fun.
What's up, Canada?
But yeah. So, but that's my point. When I look at Waco is like a European thing.
Yes.
And honestly, when you start to look at WKC is starting to take over. Like if you look at the Americas, a lot of the Americas fight for WKC. Then there's Waco in Europe. So the WKC doesn't have a stronghold over there in Waco. Mm-hmm. It has a stronghold over here in America that is actually starting to grow.
Yes,
really starting to get big.
There's a lot bigger.
And it's interesting because we're getting that Central and South America. Yeah,
I think it comes down to the rules.
Yeah, and so it's interesting. So that's why I'm like, okay, Waco. Nobody has, to me, a clear overall one. I will say NASCA and Waco.
Yes,
because they're separate, Western and East. Europe and
I'm sure Asia's got something that we don't even know.
Well, yeah, they're not even coming out.
Trillion of them. Then
they staying with their own thing and staying inside doing their own thing or whatever. Excuse me. But yeah, so with that, I think those are like 1A and 1B, and then right behind them is WKC trying to break through that threshold. Yeah, and absolutely. They've made a lot of ground in the
last 10 years. They have covered a lot of ground in these 10.
Yeah, it's up to 10 years now.
Is it 10?
Well, okay, so they started WKA and then split off into WKC and then split off again with WKC. So
the whole so from the original but the original break off
when my uncle and them took over for the WKA part because WKA was going on before that. But then once he took over in like I think 07, 08, and then I think in 11 I think it switched.
Yeah, and that was the first year
they split off to WKC.
WKA. They still had WKA and then WKC, two World Championships. Yeah, I remember that.
And so WKA split again to WKU?
Yeah, I don't even think there's a WKA anymore. Yeah. I think there was another split because remember Alfie and them started their own kind of the WMO or I got something else over there that they kind of split off with because what you'll find is you'll find a lot of the harder contact fighters not wanting to do Waco. They don't like the tickle. They don't like the first to touch. They don't like the first to move. They want to bang. And most of those guys, from the UK, England, Scotland, and Wales, Ireland. You got them countries that are a little more hard-nosed. South America,
Yeah.
Canada. So you got those guys who are kind of leaving off, and that's why even the WKA was even softer contact and stuff than WACO.
Yeah.
When I did WKA in 2005, we were in Switzerland. They let us bang. They let us bang.
The only time I did WKA was 99 again. That was
here, right?
Montreal,
Yeah.
I think. I think it was Montreal or Toronto. I think it was Toronto. And I did it, and I got bronze. I can't remember because, I lost to a guy from England. He was just more advanced, more skilled. Like this is like my second year in adults nationally or internationally. And so he's like we talked about last week, you just throwing techniques, and then you're not really, you're just going, you're not really understanding how to set people up and how to move and everything. You're just using your talent. And he just schooled me, like just moving, angling, and I'm like, what the heck is happening right now? But all right, but yeah, and he was in those body punches, the body jabs, like it just.
Only reason I can't put WACO is the best rules.
I mean, if you okay, so if you had your own league,
yes,
what would be the rules that would
be different?
Yeah, like if you took would you mash all of them?
I would mash some of them, but there would be hard lines.
Okay.
There would be hard lines. I would give 2 points for a head kick. I'd give 3 points for a jumping spin kick. I agree with the 1 point body kicks. Now, WACO does a thing where if you do a jumping spinning, like a jump spin back kick, and you land the kick before your foot hits the ground, you can get 2 points for a jumping spinning body kick.
Yeah, WKC is doing that too.
I like that. 1 point for all punches. A body jab, a lead hand to the body can count, but it's got to make solid contact. You got to make contact. If you kick and you fall down for whatever reason, it's no point.
Yeah. Yes.
If you punch and you fall down, there's no point. If you're out of bounds, it's out of bounds, period. The guy in can score. The guy out cannot score if I don't say stop before you come back in.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's just hard lines. There is no maybe.
So what's out of bounds? The 1 foot out, or
no, 1 foot out is in. One in, one out. I mean, technically, if you look at every other sport, as soon as your toe hits the line, you're out.
You're out. Right.
So I mean, in such a short ring, I think we can do 1 in, 1 out. But as soon as the in foot picks up to kick, you're automatically out. That's automatically,
So now I'm gonna hit you with 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The jump, fade back fist.
If you land out of bounds, if you start in and you land out of bounds, that is no point.
Okay.
You jumped out of the ring to avoid the contact. There is no point for that.
All right.
Again, hard line is hard line. If you are out of bounds, you are out of bounds. There is no way that that's a score. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of a gray area if it's someone my height versus someone your height, and I throw an axe kick and I touch and you push me over. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have been dumb enough to do that in a real fight.
Or you should have threw it hard enough that
to stop
it
did. Somebody. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna lift your leg up that high and be able to hit somebody, you should be able to put something on it. I agree. So it's weird. Like there is no call each way.
Okay.
The only thing that I don't like that I would keep from the other things, 1 scores 2, 1 scores 1. That is automatically 1 point. It's not 1-2, 1-1. Otherwise scores none. That's no point. There are organizations that do that.
Really? 1
saw a kick, 1 saw a punch. Well, you didn't see the same score. It doesn't count. No point. I've seen 2 or 3 different organizations do that. A couple of them are moderate.
I mean, I never really thought about it, but actually, technically,
it's not a point. I didn't see the same thing that you saw. We didn't confirm on the same thing. How can you get that a point?
Wow.
Now, the only way is I saw it kick the chest first and then slide up. I didn't see the chest contact. I only saw the head contact. 2 points for the same kick, 1 point for the same kick. I would go ahead and go with the lesser for the 1 point.
Okay.
But I've seen people, side kick and then back fist. I saw the side kick. Well, I saw the back fist. Well, nothing happens. But
I'd be frustrated if I smack somebody with 2 techniques and I get nothing.
Right, exactly. So that then penalizes the follow up. So that's why you kind of can't really do that. That's why I would not do that. But other than that, I mean, that's
ground
really
fighting.
About it. No
ground fighting.
No, if it immediately stops at the fall, you can't hit them when they're on the ground.
Growing shots.
No. No. No.
Not a jump, spinning, front snap kick to the groin?
See? Nah, bro. We as grown men know it's not okay to kick another man in the groin unless my life is on the line, bro. And even then, that's still suspect.
Well, yeah.
I mean, if it comes down to it, I'm going to kick you.
I mean,
like, you know,
yeah, right.
life on the line, I'm probably biting you too. So, like, you know.
All right, let's check in. Let's see what's another one of these things.
Oh, kill him. Oh, kill him. Oh.
Okay. All right.
Oh, man.
We got anything else?
Yeah, we got. I got two little things. We had the judges' positioning.
The judges' positioning.
It's crazy. I have two different school of thoughts on this.
All right.
When we talk about the position,
what we're going to talk about,
judges,
yes,
where the judges are. So if you have a center and you have corner judges,
where do you, right there, watching this video,
and you and you
your judges?
Where do you like? As a competitor, I want my judges to move around and find the best angle.
All right.
As a promoter and a spectator who wants to create a spectator-friendly sport where the spectators don't have to worry about trying to watch a camera and some judge's butt in the face, I advocate for them to sit in the chairs.
Oh, I have a solution for that.
I have a few solutions for these. We were talking about some of them.
It's called get your butt in the stands where you're supposed to be.
Stadium
seatings.
It's like barriers. Man, the Battle of Atlanta for the first half of the day was great with those barriers, and then men's fighting started, and it went back to everybody on the floor.
Well, you know,
it's men's fighting. Like all the security guards wanted to watch too.
Yeah, that's kind of where it goes, but it is what it is. You know, us spectators had to find our way through there and
got to get over there. In there, of course. Shoot, yes. I just became a judge.
There you go. Get yelled at all day.
Yeah,
Chris. But no, all right.
I'm like, what? But yeah, so would you rather your judges sit in a chair or stand up and stay in their corner, or stand up and then move around to try to?
I hate the sitting judges thing. I always hated the sitting.
I hate the sitting judge thing
for fighting anyway. With
the exception of you have 5 good judges who only call from their angle. Now you have 5 different perspectives. One is a point of view mover. The other have 4 corners, so you can only call the things from your perspective. That's what gives it an all-around view. But that only works, and it only works with 5 judges. It does not work with 3 judges.
If you have 5 judges, do you want them still moving?
No, because there are 5 different perspectives.
Yes. Okay.
3 judges, I would take my 2 corner judges and I'd move them side to side from corner to corner and back, or corner to corner and back. Like you can only move to the 3 corners. Okay. So you have your corner and the 2 corners that create your angle, your V.
All right, I'm going to say this one thing about the judging position. I'm going to say this. If you are the center judge, do me a favor and everybody else who is competing in the ring, if I'm a competitor, back up. I can't stand when judges like literally are right there next to you while you're trying to fight. Like literally like standing like if we're fighting, the judge literally is probably like right where those cords are. I'm like, yo, back up.
Yeah, I've accidentally spin hook kicked a judge in the face before.
Dude.
Accidentally, wink, wink, accidentally. He was too close.
Where were you
wasn't
at?
making good calls.
Where were you at?
New England. I was at New England Open. And it was a former promoter. Oh, I'm sorry. This was not the New England Open. This was before I was an adult because I had words with him in New England. Still my favorite promoter, though. U.S. Open.
What state was he promoting?
He promoted the wonderful, God rest his soul, Bluegrass Nationals.
Oh.
I kicked Ken in the face.
Really?
I was fighting. Now, this was, oh, God, this had to have been 98, 97, because I was still a junior. It was before I moved up. So I'm fighting Drew Stodgy, his boy, and we're fighting for first and second.
And he's in the center.
Yeah. So I hit him, pow, pow. He falls and hits the ground. They say break. He gets up. He hits me again. They call for his point. This happened 3 exchanges in a row. He would fall down. They'd say stop. I turn my back. He'd come by and hit me with a back fist or something on my back, or when I was walking back to the line, and they gave him a point for it. So I said, call for timeout. I said I wanted an arbitrator. He looked at me and goes, you don't know who I am? I looked at him and you don't know who my instructor is. We're even. He wouldn't get me an arbitrator, so we got to the next exchange. I accidentally caught him with a spin hook kick. That was, he was too close. And then I got disqualified the following exchange for making blood contact. That was still a rule in NASCA then. I drew blood and got disqualified. It was the best second place I ever got.
This is the best second place. I drew blood and kicked the judge in the face.
And still got second.
Like this is what it is. See, walk out this. Never mind.
Nah. Still to this day, Ken was my favorite. Well, it had to been, if not my favorite, but one of my favorite promoters. So it's not like it's a knock on Ken. It was my first real experience like with him. And I was like, nah, buddy.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Dog life.
Yeah.
I need one little hat and shades.
You're right.
I don't need the other one, but
Spinning
I need
hook kicked a dude as a center judge in the face. Man. Wild.
Yo, are you okay? My bad, old man.
But I've seen this recently.
It
but
happens
actually,
a lot.
But the judges. But actually, I saw at the maybe put this topic down because I saw it at the battle, and it wasn't the center. It wasn't just the center.
Nah.
The corner came up it was in the women's. It was in the women's fighting division. And she came and she was right up on him.
Like within one mat? Like within a mat?
Yes. I'm like, why are you that close? Back up. Like you can't see it.
Unless they come to my corner.
Right.
I got a rule, 2 mats. You got to be 2 mats away from the action. Otherwise you can't make a real call. You're up on the action.
How
can
too
you
close.
see?
Can't see the forest through the trees, man. Like you cannot. Like you just cannot be that close. I don't understand. And there's a judge here who literally does that every time he judges here in Atlanta. And I just be like, yo, I don't understand why you so close. Back up. And even if he's the side judge, he still does it. I was like, man, just back up.
2 feet, homie.
Back up. Like so tell the judges like, yo, can I get some space? Can I get some space? Or if you're the coach, if you're the coach, just say, yeah, can we get some space? Yeah.
Every once in a while, you just got to spin and hook kick somebody, man.
Clearly. And get second, and then bust the person up in the face.
Oh, my God, because that reminds me. Remember when Lynn Gregory got hit?
No, I don't.
Oh, Lynn got knocked out as a referee of a fight. She was stepping in. Bow! Late shot got hit. She went down. That was quite a few years ago. That was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where?
That's what it reminded me of.
If it was like 7, 8 years ago, that's when I took my.
It was right after you.
My last break.
The last one.
Well,
yeah.
I did come back. So then.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 breaks ago.
But no, I don't even remember. I think it was either at Kentucky or it was in Atlanta, and it was Dottie White and somebody else, and she went to step in between the two of them and got that extra punch thrown and dropped. This happened. Like you see it all the time. Boxing referees try to break an action and somebody throws something. So that's kind of why you have to have some space.
I've
between
always been the person to back up. As soon as I say go, and you'll see me back up. Like
half
I don't
the time
have to be
I'm
in the
not
middle
even
of
there.
it.
Like I'm not even there. I've already backed up, and then I
just
say go after I backed up because I'm not. Listen,
like stop, and then I try and get in.
Break.
Right,
and I come in close. But I'm not listen. Y'all, every adult is bigger than me. I mean, I weigh more than some of y'all, but like the little Spence dude, like Trent's taller than me. All these dudes are like bigger than me. I'm not trying to step in between 2 people.
Sergio and Zach.
All right, Zach Winder and Sergio get into a fist fight. I'm grabbing them both by the collars and picking them up. But other than that, can you see me stepping between like Damon and Cam or something, or Cam and Ant, or
there we go.
Tomas and whoever. Like, I don't think that one would happen, but could you imagine? I'm not trying to step between.
Imagine Tomas getting into a fight.
Yeah.
No, I can't imagine.
I know,
Tomas
that's
getting
kind
into
of
a
why I was
fight.
like, Tomas. I had to take that one back. Out of the Hungarians, Christian would have fought you, but none of the other ones.
Well, you don't think? What was the little one? The little one.
Richie?
Yeah.
No, I fought Richie and put Richie sideways a couple times, and he never really got back up to fight me. He talked about it, but he didn't come.
That's what I figured. Richie might, because he seemed like he's the one to talk.
Richie's cool, but no, Christian would probably be the only one that ran across the ring to punch you in the mouth. Okay. He tried to run out in the middle of the ring when I punched Richie. He tried to come and hit me, and Isfan, but Isfan's like,
what do you think about that? Okay,
old school gangster.
The sideline people jumping into the match when something's when people are getting
Man, if you are on the sidelines and you are not a participant, stay your butt on the side. There's a reason why you're not in the ring right now.
Yeah, true.
That's just my thing. And
I
think we addressed that. Oh yeah. Listen.
Yeah, listen. Pablo did that last year. I think he ran up on who was fighting. I
don't know, but that to me, he was one Zayn, and they were about to fight or something. But that to me goes back to the judge. That should have automatically been a point to the other. You know what I mean? These are rules that have to be hard line followed.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
sorry. I was looked at as the bad guy, and we'll go to it. Last year, Spence and Bailey fought at the U.S. Open.
Okay.
Lightweight, super lightweight grands or whatever, lightweight and super light grand. No, they fought for overall grands. My bad, overall lightweight grands.
Yes. Blake Spence.
Yes, Blake. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, sorry, not Trent. Blake.
Oh, you just said Spence because
I said Trent.
you couldn't
earlier,
figure
I
out
said
which
Blake.
one it was.
I couldn't remember. I was trying to. Oh man, I don't remember, brothers.
Yeah.
But
B before T, man. B before T.
us. But no, I throughout the match, like I told Bob to sit down, like don't get out of your chair. He kind of got up, man, don't get out of your chair. It was tied. We were in overtime. Overtime. He got up and didn't like a call and ran in the ring. I was the bad guy. 1 point to this side, coach out of his chair. Everybody in the ring looked at me like I was crazy. Everybody in the ring sat back down and waited until I made my call. I'm sorry. I don't care what team it was. I don't care who you are. It could have been Rodriguez. It could have been Damon. It could have been Hugh Smith with the All-Stars. If I'm the center referee and that's the rule, don't stand up.
And you
Plus,
warned
I
them.
gave you twice. Like, hey, man, don't stand up. Hey, stay in your seat. Now you get up and get in the ring and try to yell at my face because you don't like my call? Sorry, you're not going to intimidate a real judge. There are quite a few judges who you can't do that to.
So you saying you're a real judge and the other people aren't?
I'm saying I follow the rules and I don't care. And I literally do not care who comes into my ring. I don't care. With the exception of maybe Larry Carnahan, but really I don't care. You can say it. I don't care. If I'm tasked with the rule, judge, I know the rules. I'm going to follow the rules. Don't intimidate me. It's just one of those things. I think too many referees get intimidated by the calls and by the people on the sidelines and what name is on there. And I want them to come to my tournament next month and all this jazz, man. That's not your job.
You just went there and said judges be getting.
Bro, these judges, man, listen. We talk about the real topics here. We've been on that.
We do.
We've been on that.
People actually have commented on
man,
that.
There are parents who pay judges so their kids can win.
Jesus. Is that really that serious?
Bro, we had a kid, all right, Dallas Lou was the last Forms kid we ever picked up on the All-Stars.
Okay.
Dallas was so nice. This kid had so much talent. He could do whatever he wanted. He's actually in like some Lego My Ego commercials now.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing some stunt work.
Shout out to you, Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas Lou's the man. But he quit competing. He didn't even do a full year, I don't think, with our team. And he quit because his dad and him had heard that there were kids who were paying the judges so Dallas wouldn't win. And some of these kids are now very, very high up, winning on the national circuit, still winning NASCAR adults now. So parents, my God, we need to air some of this stuff out. I'm going to start calling some of y'all parents out when I really start finding out proof. But, man, parents, y'all got to stop. Man, it's a kid's sport, man.
Yeah.
They not winning $1,000. Y'all don't even cheat for your 18, 19-year-olds like that when we're in the adult division. You know what I mean? Like.
Oh, see, that's where I was, like, when I said earlier, like, unfortunately, we've kind of become like a kid's sport.
We are a kid's
because it's moral.
That's where, there's more kids.
That's where the money is.
And think about it, 18 to 25, most people are doing college or they're just trying to figure out their life and they're getting a job. I guess, I can't really crap on these millennials, but like a lot of the newer age people are staying at home and living at home longer. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
For the most part, you still should be doing a trade school. You should be doing college. You should be doing something in the 18 to 25-year-old years to pursue some sort of growth in adulthood. So that's kind of where that really slows down. You got to start being a grown man or grown woman. You got to pay for yourself unless you get dope and get picked up by a sponsor. And you know as well as I do, the sponsors ain't covering what they used to cover.
No.
Man, the sponsors nowadays are giving you a uniform, a T-shirt, and maybe your comp fees.
Which is insane.
Why?
I wear
my own dojo uniform.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can pay $60.
Right.
Like,
Registration ain't that
big.
much. And
I don't have to worry about that.
I buy a doper uniform than some of y'all's teams. Some of y'all's teams got some ugly uniforms. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of y'all's uniforms is ugly. Shout out to Proper. Proper's got dope uniforms.
Oh, I thought you was going the other way with that.
No,
I was about to be like, yo.
Proper's color schemes are dope, man. Get out of here with that. When they came out first with that black, silver, and orange joint, I was like, yo, that's hard. And then they had the flip flop gi on the back side of it, and then they came out with the special anniversary turquoise edition. Oh, bro, Proper Junior, shout out, bro.
And a turquoise one.
Bro, they did a black, silver, and turquoise joint like that, like a light blue.
Yeah.
Maybe like a blue like this. Bro, that was hard.
Oh,
that was hard. It had the 08 or whatever on it because it was like their 10-year anniversary or whatever when they did that. I think it was the 10-year or whatever it was. It was an anniversary.
The 08 anyway. Is it 08? Yeah. They must have been last year then.
Well, yeah.
Because 08.
Well, no.
They still rocking the 08 now. Because I think that's the year they were founded.
They were founded. So, yeah, like I said, it might not have been the 2018 version, but I remember Leo having it. Leo wore it.
Actually, I think I do remember that.
That joint was dope. My team has always come out with crazy uniforms. I mean, we done had to switch some things up a couple times, but we've always had, innovative uniforms. So, I mean, Impex's uniforms look good. I don't know. Ben's stuff,
first off, I will say
stuff looks pretty cool, but I don't know who makes theirs.
The dopest uniform
ever.
It's the bottle. It's the bottle. Sorry, man. The bottle
in the bowl.
Yes, the white and purple version.
Oh,
of the bottle.
bro, I can't even hate on that. The bowl look joint, bro. Listen, that was a bowl look joint. Oh, those things were hot. I don't even like y'all's team. I don't even like that team.
Nobody likes that team.
But yeah, they're like the Yankees.
Yeah, nobody likes that team. They always the Yankees.
But ain't been the Yankees for a while.
They haven't.
Okay,
they haven't.
But so yeah.
But the Yankees ain't been the Yankees in a while.
Nah. I like the old new tradition uniforms, man. I liked the original East Coast All-Stars before they had when they had the adults, before they joined with the Metros and coordinated with that.
Okay, I was thinking about the red, white, and blue.
That's the one. That's the East Coast
With the red at the top and like white.
And the white and the blue on the bottom, and then they had the opposites with the flip-flops with the diagonal.
Yeah.
Them.
Okay.
I was like, I know I got pictures of your uncle in that uniform. And then the next year, they only did the East Coast All-Stars, I think, for the first year, and then they did Metro for the second year. And I think that's either that year or the halfway through the year when Mr. Platter went over to JPM. Because I don't remember if he was actually fully on when it was Metro. I know he was on the East Coast All-Stars.
I know, because he's told me stories about, that Hector came to him and he said, he didn't want to go. But he was on Paul Mitchell and, Transworld Oil. And,
I knew all that. Yeah.
But,
I know all that.
But these people don't know that. Some of these people don't know. Some of them know. Other people don't. Oh, speaking of which, we did get clarification on something last week.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Gypsy Man.
Oh, yes.
It is Tice Talbot.
Tice Talbot.
That is his name.
Oh, all right, Tice. So I apologize to you, brother, because I came up. It's no disrespect. I came up and told you I was very impressed with your fighting, and you did a good job. So, all right, cool. Tice.
There we go, Tice Talbot.
That's not a bad name. I can remember Tice.
There you go.
All right, good. All right, and I think one of we did that. The last thing. I think Alex brought it up, and I seen some of the craziest comments underneath it at all times. One coach's chair, two coaches' chair, no chairs, and a mat like a coach's box.
Yeah, it was a guy on there talking about how it's they're playing tag. That's why the rest of y'all don't. That's the rest of the combat world don't respect y'all. I'm like, dude, just because you need a coach to coach y'all for.
I seen that dude. He was talking about something. They need a coach for boxing and for kickboxing, for
not
MMA.
for tag. I'm
but they're out of the ring. They're not in the way. They're not on the mats. They only get coached in between the rounds. You don't hear none of that stuff when you're in an arena like that with all those people.
Nah, you really don't.
I mean, you can ask most fighters if they even hear their coach.
I did.
I have tuned into one or two voices.
I'm tuned to one voice. And that's I can
hear my instructor's voice whisper from across the damn state. And I tell you, you know who's I found was a great coach, at least for me.
Who?
Trevor Nash.
Trevor
he said the right things at the right time and made you feel like you were the best in the world. Like you would go out there and slap him. Like that's how he was more of a motivator, like that. But that's about it, man. Other than that, I don't really, you know, I hear people go. I don't listen to you.
Yeah, go. Come on, you
Hit him with the sidekick. Buddy,
kick,
I'm winning.
blitz.
I'm winning by 6 points, bro. Why would I hit anybody with anything? I'm just kind of chilling right now. You get close
Controlling
to me,
the rest of the match.
I'm gonna kick you in the elbow with my sidekick, but I don't need to go score.
All right, so 1 or 2.
Honestly, if I had a choice, I would do no chairs. I would do an extra, because we do puzzle mats now. I would do an extra puzzle piece mat, and that'd be your coach's box. You can't leave the coach's box. You have to stand. And you have to be in the box. I mean, what happens if a fighter falls and lands on that chair?
The coach is
$1 million baby. But you know when the fighters come at you, okay, Cam and Ant are coming at you as hard as you can. You're going to sit in that chair?
Who's coming at me?
Cam and Ant.
Which person?
Ant's backing up. Cam is coming through with the blitz.
Which person am I coaching?
You're the one in the chair.
Which person am I coaching? Am I coaching Cam or am I coaching Ant?
Because
you know where I'm going. Yeah, wait, 100% matters.
All right, I know.
If it's the person I'm coaching and they're pushing the other person back, I may put my hand up to
I'm putting
stop
my hand
them.
up to not lose that point.
Yeah.
And to help out a little bit so they don't run out of the ring.
Yeah, like,
I get
hey.
you. No, I get you. But you know what I mean? Average people, when you see 2 heavyweights coming at you, you're going to go, ooh.
Well, yeah.
Well,
if I'm sitting on the sideline and I'm not coaching and they coming at me, I'm moving. I'm moving out the way.
So,
like,
I mean, anytime that something like that happens, you run the risk of having that danger.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're going to give a ring, then you're going to give a 1 mat border, and then you want to put that chair. Now there's a border and there's a batch like they do in the nighttime finals.
Yeah.
I like the nighttime finals with the 1 coach's chair on the carpet outside of the inner ring with the outer mats that's out of bounds. That gives an area for that to happen. I know you can't do that at every tournament. Mats are expensive, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, if you just put 1 extra mat and have them stand either in a corner or right in the middle or whatever it is right there, you can do that safely, and you can do that. I know Blitz used to do that before they did the chairs. They used to have a coach's box. If you stepped in the box, or only 1 person could be in the box at a time, so on a break and on an exchange, you could have 1 coach. Like if you had 2 coaches, one's an instructor and one's a dad, and then they switch, whatever, you could do that. But yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of the chairs without, space, and I'm definitely not a fan of 2 coaches. Come on, man. Come on, man. Your fighters don't even listen to you most of them for the 30, 45 seconds they're in the ring. Most of these matches don't even go to full 2 minutes. So what are you going to get coached for? That's like when I saw this 10-second timeout in a 2-minute match. Like, are you kidding me? A 10-minute courtesy timeout for what? I mean, I get it for the adjustments and all that stuff, but it's a 2-minute fight. Like, why do you need a break? Do some cardio.
Because you're getting killed.
And if you're getting killed, there's not an adjustment that's going to let you come back. Well, NBL with the 30-second stop time, they might do that with the stop time.
I hate that. I honestly hate that. That draws that thing out so far from a 2-minute match to a 4-minute match.
You mean Hack a Shack at the end of the NBA Finals?
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. Like, that is so annoying. I'm like, well, how long is this 30 seconds?
Bro, 6 minutes, man.
And after each exchange,
Each break,
so somebody can
time.
really just keep dragging this thing out, man. That is just insane to me. Like, that, I don't get that. I hated that rule.
Number 7.
Well, that's why they down there.
Yep. And then, what was the announcement they just made? I seen somebody post something about the announcement they just made about some nonsense.
And they said that when where the Super Grands are going to be.
You mean Buffalo at the end of Christmas?
Or South Carolina? Like,
they're not doing. It's gonna
be South Carolina or Buffalo.
It ain't gonna be Myrtle Beach, man. It's been Buffalo for what, the last 7 out of 9 years or something.
I don't know,
like that.
Man. Like,
One year was in Myrtle Beach, and then the other year was out on the West Coast or something.
I haven't been since I got screwed at there. I mean, I literally destroyed that room. They screwed me so bad.
I went to 1 Super Grand.
I was like, what are y'all calling? This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to go and partially go back on my list of forms people, bro. I forgot my favorite traditional dude ever, Keith Weston. Bro,
Keith Weston.
That was
what?
I loved to watch him. That was he kept it like real traditional but real intense. Like he did a little bit of the show, but it was always like real classical karate. And I was like, dude, he lives like out
in the
mountains,
in
the mountains, living like old school Japan. But I mean, hey, that's a dude that's committed to that life.
Yeah,
I owe Casey a visit. Because Casey wanted me to come up, and I knew a form that she didn't know. And she was like, hey, you come up and show me? What? I get to show you something? Yeah. She was like, I was like, you know, and I asked, a little bit later in the conversation if she still spoke to Keith. And she was like, yeah, we can go visit him.
Is he up there?
Yeah, he's in Canada. He's up in the mountains in his weird house or whatever. So we can go. I was like, all right. This was years ago, though.
Did you go?
6 years ago. Nah, I didn't get a chance. That was when Chelsea and Trevor and them first came on the squad, and I was talking to Casey a lot, and I was going to go up there. And whatever happened didn't work out.
Okay.
But yeah, I remember that.
No?
That's a trip that I need to get back up to. Get up to
And
Canada.
go up there and be in the mountains?
Well, yeah, I'm down to go to the mountains and do some crazy stuff. But I want to go up there and train with the Nashes.
I don't think I...
Nah.
No, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go to the mountains.
You would go to the mountains at all?
No. It's not.
We went. All right. We went. We go to Hawaii. You can go up to the mountains and hike with me in the mountains in Hawaii.
Probably. Just because I'm in Hawaii.
Oh, fair. Well,
Because once I do the mountain hiking,
we're not
then I'll
going
be
to the
back
Smokies. We're not going to the Smoky Mountains and just go
I'm
walk.
not going to no mountains, man.
You don't want to jog up Stone Mountain?
I took the...
He's like,
I took that little that little thing they lifted us up there. I took that up to Stone
it was
Mountain.
like a mile.
It probably is, but I'm not doing it. I'm straight. Like, I see people taking pictures at the top of Stone Mountain. First off, I don't like going to Stone Mountain. It's too.
Say it.
It's just like, man, when you go there, like, hold on, man, because I saw something. I'm gonna play it.
Super Uncle Ruckus.
It's just
Racist.
it's just too racist, man. Like when they actually have a laser show, and then when they had a laser show, and it's all about the Confederacy, and I'm just sitting here like,
Well, yeah, it's private property that's owned by old school Southerns.
yeah, and then they show the Union come down, and then it's almost supposed to be like really sad that the Union came down. I'm like, why would I cheer for this? Like, why would I even want to know?
Honestly, it's crazy. Every time I go, there's so many people.
Yes,
that go.
But that goes into a whole nother conversation about, like, when I'm down here, it's just so different being from up north.
Above the Mason-Dixon?
Yeah, just seeing the different
Or down in
mentality or acceptance of certain things, and I'm just like, I don't get this. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
Listen, and be happy you're here in Atlanta.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Shoot,
like,
parts of Georgia, other parts of Georgia,
where
Mississippi.
we at right now? Like,
Well,
like
yeah.
I'm a stone's throw away from it. If it, you know, what I mean, like, not even that far. It's like
you could kick a can in some places over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, no.
Shoot, when I worked out in one of the other places out in Georgia here, boy, I tell you what, we had a dude. We had one black instructor. Anything that man said or did, he was automatically in trouble. It didn't matter.
That's insane.
Dude showed up 20 minutes early for work and was like starting to clean stuff and move stuff. He was like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you touching that?" Like, dang, bro. I thought I thought y'all would have been happy my man was cleaning. I thought he was supposed doing what he was expected to do. Like,
see,
dang,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yelled at the
certain,
help for cleaning,
things,
bro.
I just be like,
crazy. But yeah, no,
I can't.
man, yeah. The South is wonderful and terrible at the same time. I guess I'm partially from the South.
To me, that's
Florida.
everywhere.
Well, yeah, that is everywhere.
Everywhere
But the things that are crazy about the South are super crazy, and the crazy that we have down here is a little bit bigger than a lot of places that I've seen. I mean, I'm from Florida, so we're not really the South, but we're the most South.
Y'all own
So
South.
yeah, every time I see something on the news, I'm like, please don't be from Florida. Please don't be from Florida. From Apopka. Dang it.
Yep.
But yeah, the South is a whole nother ball game down here when it comes to that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I always go to Kennesaw Mountain, because Kennesaw Mountain's free.
Kennesaw Mountain?
Yeah, right up here.
I may have to go to Kennesaw.
575.
Are you that far close to Kennesaw Mountain?
Man, Kennesaw is it's the same distance as Stone Mountain from here, probably a little closer.
Uh-oh. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, okay.
I mean, Kennesaw is.
But yeah, because how you are.
up on the 575. We're a 15-minute drive to 575, and probably 10-minute drive from there.
Okay. So yeah, because I was just thinking about it, because I'm always basing everything from the center of Atlanta.
From the center,
yeah. So going up here, and then it's all the way out this way.
I'm already out here, so it's just
yeah.
a short
So you
shot.
gotta kind of go over that way. So yeah. But here's what y'all don't want to hear all that. Anyway, this is some Atlanta talk. You know what I'm talking about?
Now I ain't really know that Atlanta talk.
Yeah, I don't know how to,
right now.
I wish I knew how to do an Atlanta accent.
Atlanta slang.
Yeah, or
Man,
all
Atlanta
of that.
slang is crazy.
I don't understand half of the stuff. I'm like, not as bad as when I go down to Florida though. When I go down to Florida and my family's in Fort Lauderdale and my cousins, like 2 of my cousins are like half Haitian.
Yeah. Oh no.
No, man, I half Haitian, half Jamaican.
Jamaican.
And they hang with I hang with them and them and their friends and they Jamaican friends and they start talking. I be like, I had to look at one of my cousins like, yo, what just happened?
Should
and
I
he'd
laugh?
tell me
Should I
exactly what
laugh or
happened.
should I run away?
He was like, oh, he was saying da 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 because he talks. But then he'd turn back into he starts. I'm like, yo, what?
Nah, buddy, you know we do that too. When you go back to the neighborhood and you get around your boys, and you
Well,
start
I
talking,
know, but
and then you come back home and then you speak the same way. And like for me, my wife looks at me like,
Well, I start having a little Florida slang when I go down there and start hanging around my family and I hear it, but I can hear myself like, oh shoot, okay, I can hear it. And I know I definitely do it when I go back to Detroit, but it just is what it is. It's just like, all right, but. Theirs is a whole. I'm like, yo, I have no.
When you mix
the man did the bond. Like,
when you mix
what?
another culture or another language in with something that's already slanged,
Yeah,
it's its
I
own world.
was so lost.
When like the Puerto Ricans in Orlando will start speaking Spanglish, and they'll say something and they'll throw a little Spanish and they'll go back. They're like, you just blew my whole world. The Haitians with their Creole and the Jamaicans. I won't say all the words.
Batman.
Batman. What you say, Shaba? Right near the beach.
Half baked.
Why?
Yeah.
A good movie, man.
Hilarious. I think that's it. I think that's what y'all love it.
That's actually we hit every topic.
Hour 40 minutes.
We went a little over time with some extras because that's who we are.
I just kind of got to the point where it's going to be an hour and a half, people.
Yeah,
I try not to do 2 hours, and then you can just listen to us while you clean up your karate school. Listen to us while you're driving to the karate school.
On the way home.
Yeah, on the way home. I mean,
when them little kids are annoying you and you got to take your little half-hour break and you put your headphones on and sit and eat your lunch.
You stupid.
But I didn't see no lies.
That's true.
You got me. There's all kinds of times during the day. I like to listen. I like to listen to podcasts when I drive.
Yep, that's what I do.
Atlanta, man. It takes 40 minutes to get ding there everywhere. So
yeah, so that's why I just sitting there when I drive to work. I just listen to my podcast, and then I listen to it when I go home. And then when I get to work, I actually put on music because I can't listen to people talk.
No, I can't listen to people talk when I got stuff to do. I do the same thing when I'm driving around picking up the kids at the in the dojo van. Like I get there like 20, 30 minutes early. Whoop, there it is. Because you're at a school, you can't really listen to music you want to listen to. You can't listen to nothing on the radio.
Some of my podcasts, every time, it never fails.
Yeah.
Every time I pull up, they have sexual content when they start talking.
Yeah.
Like it'd be loud because you be riding on the freeway or whatever, and so you got to turn it up because you got you just kind of hear more
in the parking lot.
Yeah,
yes, blah, 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 blah.
Like so the porn star did. I'm like,
whoa, yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah, the same thing happened to me a couple times listening to Joe Rogan.
Yep.
Some of their language or the medicinal medications. And I'd be like, my kids be like, Mr. Walker, he just said this word. You're not supposed to say that word. You're supposed to say he said a bad word.
Exactly.
Podcast.
Gotta go off.
Back to Disney Radio.
Yes.
You're welcome. Oh, man.
All right. So, looks like that's about it for us this week. I'm really enjoying doing these podcasts. I'll tell you that much.
I look forward to this every Monday, man.
Yep.
I'm like, hey, Travis coming over, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot you got your podcast. Okay.
Exactly.
My wife tonight was like, hey, baby. She was like, is Travis coming? I was like, yeah. Well, I don't know. This rain is sitting sideways. He might not come out here today. Out here for started my adult class. 10 minutes before I started my adult class, the rain starts coming completely sideways. All the power in my building shut off. And so then I had to wait like 20 minutes for all my floodlights to come back on because I got these old school lights. Mm-hmm. Man.
It's crazy. The funny thing is everything I got.
In the dark.
I mean, everything with the exception of the mixer has a battery, so we'd have been cool. But the mixer is the main thing. Yeah. So, yeah, we would have been stuck waiting. But other than that, Is what it is.
Yeah,
I work not far from here, like 15. Not even that far, like
20.
Where
you at? Sandy Springs?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I work by Perimeter Mall. So like it's just right. So I just stay
grab a
late
little
work.
bite, grab a little bite, stay down here, and come on through.
I stay at work a little bit late on Mondays, and then I'm just like, all right, so head up there.
Now, do you work a little late, or you just stay there?
I just stay there.
Attaboy.
I work on other things.
Yeah.
I have other things. But right now, we supposed to be working late, and I told them, I was like, I'm gone. They're like, wait, what? I'm like, I'm gone. All my part is done. I literally can't do anything right now. Yes, I can't
I'm
do
not
anything.
going to sit here and twiddle my thumbs.
I see what y'all still doing here, but you're like, oh.
You got 30 minutes. You got
a new backpack. Like, no, it's I do a podcast. So I see y'all later. Wait, what? Don't worry about my other life. Just know.
Y'all just need to know that I show up, I get my work done, I collect my check, and I like to go home.
They're like, if I Google you, can I find you? You find some stuff, but I don't know if you're gonna find about
what
this.
You want.
Yeah, what you're looking for.
Now, are you friends with your work people, or you just work with your work people?
I work with my work people.
My dude.
Man,
that's the thing, man. Because employee drama, workforce drama is crazy.
When you're friends with them, they get too familiar.
Yep.
And
there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line. There's a coworker line and there's a friend line. And
there's certain people. I can see them making the wrong joke, and then I gotta
punch them in the throat, in a heartbeat.
So I don't want to do that. So I just kind of keep them at a distance. Like, all right, y'all not there. Y'all not.
We had a lunch break. We can kind of hang out. Yeah. But other than that, I'm out of here. When I clock out, I'm going home.
Yeah. So
y'all don't meet me at no movie.
And plus, you know what's crazy? Technically I'm one of the older people. Like at this point, like some of these cats are like 25, 26. So I'm like, well older than that. So I'm like, I'm the old dude. I'm the old head out this crew. I'm like, some of the stuff they said, like we got interns who were born in like 04.
Bro.
And that threw me off. And then one of the older interns was like, oh my God, you're so young. I mean, I was born in 98.
Huh?
I graduated high school in 98. That's what I'm thinking. Like
I ain't gonna say that out loud because I never thought I'd be the dude be like, dang, I knew you when you were this big.
Right.
Man, that's when I graduated. I never thought I'd be that dude to say it.
Yeah.
Well, I try not to, but it's crazy how that works. Yeah.
Oh, did you see D? Did you see D?
What happened?
These nuts.
Oh, got him. Come on now.
Hey, it's there on this soundboard. So I was like, all right, let me throw this out there. Yeah. Anyway,
I was thinking something happened in the D. I was like, what?
All right, man. Let's get out of here, man. I'm about to get home. Give me something to eat or something. Well, no, I already ate before I came up here.
I'm going to go home. My wife cooked salmon.
Oh, you good then?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I went to Cookout before I came here. It was not good.
Not good?
No, that Cookout was bad. Like, dude, like literally said, like, I asked him, I said, yo, he was like, what kind of sauce you want? I said, honey mustard. He said, okay. He couldn't find the honey mustard and went back and gave me a cup. And I was like, all right, cool. I went to go eat it. It was mustard for my chicken nuggets. I was like, you have to be, because first he asked me, he ran.
He didn't even try to put no honey in it?
No. He said, but the thing is, before when I ordered the food, he was like, so you want, I was like, let me get the grilled chicken, fries and chicken nuggets, and then give me the bottled water. He's like, all right, so you want all of them to have bottled water, 3 bottled waters? I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, 1 bottle of water. Oh, you only want 1 bottle of water? I'm like, so then he get me, I'm like, yo, I only want 1,
plate.
Yeah, that's it. I just want 1 tray. He's like, oh, you only want 1 tray. Okay. I was like, man, this dude is stupid. Then he gives me the mustard instead of honey mustard. Like, this is just, so when I didn't realize it until I was sitting there like eating it. I was like.
And this is the problem when people say fight for 15.
Right.
Listen, if an iPad can do better than you at your job, you're not worth $15
Well, that's the thing that's coming. That's coming soon.
Well, automated is coming very quickly.
But you know what? We got into this. But all right, the automation. Yep. They said about they went and looked at the automated teller or whatever
the kiosks or whatever.
Yeah, the kiosk. Yeah. And they said it has a high fecal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was
bro, listen. That brings
disgusting.
into a more thing. People don't wash their hands when they come out of the bathroom. You nasty people, man.
Yeah, that's
everything does.
Nasty.
By the way, helpful tip for y'all. This is something that I learned as a very, very, very young child. When you flush your toilet, put that cap tap down. If y'all don't know that, y'all are nasty. You know how it's got the seat and then it's got the cap top? Put the cap top down. Because every time it flushes, it woof. What you think happens to the particles? They go in the air. And why you got poop on your toothbrush?
That's disgusting.
Hey, I'm being honest with you. If you don't shut that top lid down on your toilet when you go to the bathroom, you got stuff on everything that's in there. Everything.
That's disgusting.
I'm saying, if you don't know that and you don't do that, that's like people who don't use washcloths, bro.
The Hershey's bar.
Hershey's bar.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. The Hershey's bar, all on your toothbrush.
Bro, listen. It's on your towel that you dry off with. It's on them Q-tips you put in them ears. Everything that's uncovered when you do that is all over the place. I'm just saying it is. It's science. This ain't something I'm just making up because I'm weird. I mean, I'm weird, but I'm not making this up.
All right, man.
But I think that's the end of this
get outta
topic
here.
on today because that was a little, we went
got
a little to the left on that
disgusting
one.
here.
Well, maybe we went to the right on that one.
It got disgusting. All right. So we'll check y'all next week.
Hit us up in the comments and stuff if y'all got some things that you're thinking about, some topics that you want to hear our opinions on.
Yeah, we know
you want
what?
to feed into our opinions and expand on it because I mean, like Trav, we got my man Tice.
Yeah, Tice Talbot.
Tice Talbot. So we got corrections and we make corrections. I'm always willing to admit my mistakes, and I'm sure my man Trav is too. So let us know and we'll hit you up.
I'm never wrong.
You got it from the horse's mouth.
And I'm sure it's gonna be a whole bunch of women coming up like, you said. You know what? Never mind.
You know what? You off the podcast.
Right.
Blocked.
All right. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Peace.